Just thought to do a little bit of an intro as I'm driving to the courts, just for one of the comments that I received on my last video of the Gravity Tour 98 regarding my clothes. This person deleted their comment after posting it. I saw it in my emails, and I didn't think it was that bad anyway. So if you're the guy that wrote it and you're watching, feel free to have your opinion. It's not a problem. I don't take it to heart. I'm aware that putting things out there on YouTube or social media, whatever, not everyone's going to like you, and everyone's entitled to their opinion, and you will get some negativity here and there or whatever. And I didn't even really see your comment as negative. So the comment basically said, as I was reviewing the Head Gravity Tour, that when you're wearing Head from head to toe, it basically looks like cheap advertising. I may as well have had the Head wind stoppers around the court as well. And I thought the comment was pretty funny. He did go on and say nice hitting and nice backhand or whatever. So I didn't see the comment as that bad, really. I had a bit of a laugh, and I wanted to write back. I was basically going to say, you're absolutely right. I am cheap advertising for Head. I'm not getting paid. I don't get given anything for free. I love Head. I love good Head especially. I've used Head since I was 15. I'm 44 now, and I've tried other brand of rackets, and I just haven't gelled with any of them. And I love the brand. So I do have some of their clothes. A little more now since that comment. I thought, well, I'm going to go out and really overdo it just for this video, because I think I'm a bit of a joker. Pardon the pun, I did buy the Legend Joker racket. So basically on that day I was wearing a Head hat. I had the Head shirt and Head shoes. If you hadn't noticed, I had Under Armour socks on and Big W $10 shorts. So I wasn't really head to toe. I could have done better, and today I've done a bit better. I've got Head socks today. I don't have my hat because I'm playing undercover and I'm not going to wear it. So, you know, just bear with me. Everything else is Head though, just for you. So change of angle as the phone has overheated again. So feel free to comment, you know, some negative things if you disagree or feel like it, or want to have a bit of banter. That's fine. I've got kind of thick skin. I've been through a lot more difficult things than a little bit of scrutiny on YouTube. I lost my first wife in 2013 to cancer. My eldest two were 2 and 3 at the time. So I've been through a lot more harder things than a little bit of negativity online. So don't feel like you need to delete any of those comments. Like I said, mate, I didn't find that comment from this fella negative at all. I thought it was actually quite funny and accurate. It was pretty accurate, so that's absolutely fine. So yeah, I've just arrived at the courts now, and I am going to do a bit of a review on the new Speed Pro Legend. I have one strung at 52 pounds with Lynx Tour, and the other one I left the standard string that came in it, which is Lynx, just standard Lynx, the round string, and that feels a bit softer, so that might be at 50. I don't mind it actually. In this, I do think I prefer the Lynx Tour. There's a little more of a solid feel with it, and I have Hawk Touch on the way because I really liked Hawk Touch in the Gravity Tour, and it's a string that likes to be strung a little bit looser, so I might try that even at 48 or something in the speeds. My 2021 Speed Pro, I liked that at 54 pounds. That frame felt a bit more flexible than these new speeds. Apparently the Exotic 2 has stiffened up the frame a little bit, but made it soft as well for contact. And I've definitely noticed the slightly stiffer frame. My 2021s really felt quite flexible actually. They kind of felt like a Prestige, like my Prestige Tour, in the sense of that flex at contact. So it was okay going at 54 pounds, whereas I think 54 in this new one might feel a bit tight for me, because 52 actually felt tighter, or as tight as 54 in the other racket. So I've found this racket to be superbly controlled really comfortable on the arm, and that's ultimately why I went back to the speeds. If you've watched my first video, you'd know that I used Speed Pros for years before stopping playing. And at the start of this year, I was watching a bunch of videos talking about the best one-handed backhand rackets. Shout out to Beckett and Tennis Nerd and all these guys that got me on this psychotic journey of rackets. So I tried a whole bunch of 98s and fell in love with the Extreme Tour, and used that for most of the year. But I developed pretty bad golfer's elbow. Predominantly, I'm pretty sure that was from overuse, because I got it on my first tournament. I think it was the first time that I'd served high volume. It's pretty much on court for 3 hours, and I was serving well and going for my serves, which I hadn't done in my 3 months of hitting prior, which was 3 months of hitting after not playing for 10 years. I woke up at midnight and I could barely move, and I woke the missus up, and I was like, I can't move my body. It was just aching everywhere. And it took me a full week to get over that. And then that following week, I filled in for a local fixtures, and I played virtually again. It was 3 hours on court. My arm just started aching like I've never felt before. I had virtually 7 months of physio, including dry needling, massage, scraping, which was really good. And it just wasn't going away. And an old coach slash friend of mine had mentioned to me at the Extreme Pro launch, when I was demoing the Extreme Pro and the Extreme MP, and we were talking about my arm, and he'd mentioned that maybe I should be looking at the 100 square, and the fact that I'd never had a problem with my Speed Pros being 100 square inch and the thicker beam. I didn't really listen. I did take note, but I really liked the Extreme Pro. It was similar to the Extreme Tour, obviously. Same specs, a little bit stiffer, a little bit more head heavy, so it's a little more stable, a little less feel, as a lot of reviewers have complained about. I agree, a little less feel, but I still liked the feel anyway. But I was playing with that, and still just, the arm just wasn't getting better. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the Speed Pro. So I grabbed my 2021 360 Plus, and lo and behold, the arm pain was dissipating. You know, I thought, you're kidding. I started this journey in January and bought how many rackets just to go full circle? I'm going back to the speeds. I'd also missed that 18 by 20 feel, that denseness about it, which I liked about the Extreme Pro. Even though it's 16 by 19, it is a denser 16 by 19, so it wasn't really high launching or anything. The Prestige Tour, 16 by 19, but a 95 square head, low launching. That racket feels phenomenal, but I did feel it was just a little bit too demanding for me in matches. It was 350 grams static, which was fine. It was really okay, but I'd noticed after a 2-hour hitting session with a bunch of guys at a higher level than me, and that's where I kind of noticed it. And I was like, hey, you know, if I'm playing matches with this, it is just a little more demanding, you know, compared to the other rackets that I've been using, including the Speed Pro. It just gives me everything that I want, mainly the comfort, the feel with that denser pattern, the low launch, which I love, and it's a good weight. The new Legend is weighted at 338, and I find that absolutely perfect. Great on the one-hander, so I'm sticking to it. It feels great. It's such a good racket for my game. Some don't like it, others love it. You know, everything, again, we say it all the time with rackets, it's subjective. What works for you doesn't work for me, and vice versa. It's all about trial and error and see what you like. So yeah, I loved the Extreme Pro. I loved the look of it, that bright yellow. I really did like that. But yeah, ultimately, you know, and I could have tried weighting it up to make it a little more comfortable on the arm, but I didn't like the Extreme Tour when I'd added weight. So I just thought, I'm not bothering. The Speed Pro suits me. I've used it for years, so it's really that familiarity as well. I did have a running joke with a good friend of mine. He was saying to me that most tennis players will return home to a racket that they were familiar with. whether it's when they were younger or what they have played most of their lives with. So I swore black and blue that I wouldn't, because I love the extremes that much at the time. So I did give him a call, and I did say to him, "Daddy's come home," and we had a bit of a laugh. And yeah, back to the Speed Pro Legend. The gloss black looks amazing, I must say. I have liked the matte colours and the matte feel on my one-hander, but going back to this racket now, I must say it feels great on the hand. And yeah, this gloss black with the white grip under lights, especially at night, it looks shit hot. And yeah, I wasn't thinking that all black racket was just gonna, you know, tickle my balls that much, and it really does. Visually, I love it, but through the air, it just feels great. And again, a 100 square inch on the one-hander is absolutely no problem. I never had a problem, and I'm back to it, and it feels amazing all round. And I am playing far more consistent with this racket than with any of the 98s that I have tried. So I did just watch a video of Nick from Intuitive Tennis demoing the speeds, and he said he didn't have the control that he was expecting out of them. And again, everyone's different. What he feels is something different to what I'll feel, to what someone else of a higher standard or a lower standard will feel, and that's fine. There's a racket out there for everyone. I think he's in a bit of a racket journey himself. But yeah, I did comment on there, and I said it's a shame, because yeah, I've just changed back to them, and I find them really controlled compared to a whole bunch of 98s that are controlled rackets. He was saying he found the Speed Pro power racket, which I don't disagree. It's, you know, it's quite powerful in my eyes, especially if you can swing it with that bit of weight to it. It is really powerful, but it's a controlled frame, you know, and I do find the control. He didn't, and that's fine. We all hit different. I'm sure he'll find something that really suits him soon. You know, he's got access to a lot of rackets, so it's going to be a nice, fun journey for him. Probably a headache too, but that's part of the fun, I guess. And I've found that out this year. 15 racket purchases, plus I demoed probably another 5, 6 or 7 rackets, and plus the strings. My God, that was another thing. So yeah, it's all fun and games. So again, leave comments, negative, whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's fun having a chat to you. I've had some good conversations with a couple of guys in DMs, you know, about different rackets and their racket journey, which has been quite similar to mine. Matt from the States, you know, he's settled on a Boom Pro after using V-Cores, and we had a similar kind of story with our journey and headaches with trying rackets and liking rackets and strings or whatever. And yeah, it's good that you found a racket, mate, and hopefully you stick to it and don't get too confused like some of us have. So anyway, we'll talk soon, guys. I'll get out on court.